So hi, I'm Jason Blight. I'm a full status agent at Alexander Swart Properties. Been operating in the property market since 2008. So this year marks my 17th year in property in the northern suburbs of Cape Town. So I'm new to the Property Corner. I'll be covering a few episodes every now and then, mainly focusing on the first-time home buyers. Today, we're going to be answering the question which a lot of buyers ask in the industry. Do you really need a deposit when buying property? And the simple answer is no, you don't need to have a deposit. You can apply for 100% bond. However, we will always advise on giving a deposit. And we're going to look at a few reasons today in this episode to why it would be beneficial for you as the buyer to have a deposit on hand. So when offering a deposit on a contract, if you put yourself in the shoes of the seller, which faces multiple offers sometimes on one property, one with offering a deposit and one without a deposit, the possibilities are much better that seller will accept the offer with the deposit instead of the one without the deposit. It just shows that extra commitment and that the buyer is actually able in buying that property. So when offering that deposit, it also helps with building trust for the agent, for the seller, but even for the banks on the end of the day. Their risk factor is lower, so the possibilities of your offer being approved by the banks are also greater. So another reason why it would be advisable to give a deposit is the long-term saving that you'll be making on that property. If you compare two buyers buying for R1 million, one with a 10% deposit and one without, you'll potentially look at a saving over a 30-year loan period of around about R1,600 per month. That calculated over the 30-year period, you'll probably look at a saving of around about R580,000, or which you'll pay less over that 30-year period. And that is all just from R100,000 deposit that you'll pay in the beginning. So there's a big saving for you on a monthly basis when offering that deposit. So as a first-time buyer, it might be a big daunting task to save up for a deposit. It can be 100,000, it can be 80, it can be 150. So one of the tips is to start saving, even though it's small amounts. Open yourself, for example, a separate deposit savings account where you can just deposit a few rand every month, even if it's R100, if it's a R500. That will always help you in aiming for at least a 5 to a 10% deposit when signing that offer. So I think the big tip when it comes to the deposit is just start. It might take you a few years, but that's also good. As long as you start saving up, even if it's small amounts per month, but that will definitely help you for whenever the time is right for you to sign that offer to purchase. So one of the questions we get a lot when it comes to the deposit is the fact that, is my deposit at risk? Do I stand the possibility of losing that deposit? And yes, you do stand the possibility. However, you will only lose your deposit or forfeit your deposit if you do not fulfill the terms and conditions in the contract that has been signed. So this is why it's important to put down the deposit on a property that you are serious about. You are willing to fulfill all the terms and conditions in that contract and offer to purchase. So to recap on all of this, do you really need a deposit when it comes to buying property? No, you don't. But we will always advise, as it will always be much more beneficial for you as the buyer to offer that deposit when buying property. So thanks a lot for listening today. If you are a first-time buyer, please let us know if you have any questions and leave it in the comments. And also don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next video.